I need one.
Enjoying it better now that I'm not quite
big on the dark side and strong enough to destroy a planet.
I was very excited about this tour in particular because not so much as like we were going to extravagant places or anything like that. I was much more excited because of the people that I was doing this tour with.
I've never really done a real tour before like this, but it was pretty much how I expected it to go.
I really honestly had no true previous tour experience. I had played in Shreveport before. I've played in other towns, of course, but not in a multiple days in a row type thing the way we did here, not heavily traveling. Usually it was a one shot, you went there, you played, you came home.
Me and Mitch used to tour a lot back in the One Method days. Been through a couple weekend tours, and it's always been a lot of fun, but always been weird and crazy and unexpected turns on the road. You never know what's going to happen.
You know, just hanging out with friends and, you know, staying with people we knew and having a good time.
Mitch is a true professional when it comes to this tour, and I can only say that because I guess he's just done this so much that it's like second nature to him, that every little turn or weirdness that happened, he was already prepared for it, and which I knew that. I mean, we've been on tours together, and it's always been, no matter what, Mitch finishes that show.
Leading up to it, I was like, well, since we're going to have everybody that I've always dreamed of touring with there, I wanted to have Sharky. Sharky Pinkston has been my right hand for the past decade. Every single thing that we've done creatively over the past decade, we have done together.
Touring with a band? No. But traveling cross country with a group of delinquents, going from place to place, going to see shows and everything, yeah.
You know, touring is where you separate the men from the boys. Every time a band I've ever been in has broken up or has had major lineup changes has happened after traveling on tour with the band. And so I was very interested in seeing how this group of people were going to hold up to it. The only thing that would have made it perfect is if John Tillman had been there. If John Tillman had been there, it would have been the perfect lineup, the perfect crew, the perfect ensemble to go do some damage.
Jeremy and Katie rode with me with most of everybody's luggage, and Chris also rode with me, Chris Lewis, the drummer as well. And so I had a packed car.
Well, we had me and Mitch loaded up in my car, and we were jamming our stuff, and then you had everybody else in the other vehicle, and Sharky was driving that one, and he's a speed demon, and I'm a grandpa, so we kind of got everywhere last.
Everywhere we went all tour, I beat them to where we were going, because, you know, that's what I do.
Dude, right on my face.
Throw a dick! Throw a dick!
Crazy news. That would be redundant.
Alright, cool. So check it out, Wookinpanub, right here, Misty.
Come on, Sarah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey.
Met it with Wookinpanub. Wookinpanub is, I've known Eric and Misty for years. I love them to death. Everything they've ever done musically, I've always been a big fan of.
Wookinpanub has a style that I can honestly say is all of their own.
I can't fucking hear you.
A lot of people like to talk shit about Wookinpanub, like, oh man, they suck. I'm like, no, they sound exactly like they want to sound. So to me, that's genius, and that's what punk rock is.
Wookinpanub is actually a really great band. I like a lot of their music. After the tour, I had Hate stuck in my head for days.
This little ditty's called Hate.
This was the one show that I was like kind of like a little bit worried about as far as like how it was going to end up being, but you got there, and for the Thursday night, the place had a lot of people in there for a Thursday night.
Honestly, I expected there to be nobody there. It was a Thursday night in Shreveport. I've never been to Breakdown Bar, never even heard of Breakdown Bar.
That was actually the funnest show of the tour.
I was gonna do the walk away, like, oh, I'm a cool guy.
In my world,
Hey, you got the walk away, and that's all that matters. Look cool, what to do.
I'm gonna scream a lot. Hope y'all enjoy it.
Yeah! He says he screams a lot.
Oh, I didn't know what was going on. I'm always lost.
Well, the Breaktime Bar was pretty much the funnest gig the whole time. We had a good time, good crowd on a Thursday night. Good show, everybody played well, and yeah, we even did a bunch of karaoke and lost our voices and stuff, so that was fun.
And the guy that runs the bar and owns the bar, Jus, he put on his iPad and was about to do karaoke. And I thought, okay, this will be fun to do for a little bit.
And in our minds, it's like, what a brilliant idea. Let's do that.
And Kyle was an animal up there, non-stop doing karaoke. It looked painful some of the times he was doing it.
As Mitch and Kyle were dumb enough to wreck their voices for the rest of it by singing 40 karaoke songs after the show was over. So, but it was a lot of fun.
My favorite one was still when Mitch and Kyle did Forgot About Dre together. That was amazing that Mitch knew every word to the damn song.
temperature, no enemies in sight. You better hope and pray he never turns your way. He turns his gaze to you, I swear you're gonna pay. You sold your soul to the devil just to stay in your paw. But now the rods in the hog made of fire. Next the devil is due. But you will punish the vile and the wicked, those who settle affairs, and hope you never receive the right respect instead. Flames on the highway, flames on the highway. Flames on the highway, I feel the flames, I feel the flames from the rider. Oh, Danny, sweet Danny, what you gonna do? You found the spike in a garbage pit, but now it's calling to you. Oh, Danny, sweet Danny, now you're feeling the flames. Your skull starts to split like a fire pit. Your body's covered in chains. Flames on the highway, flames on the highway, flames on the highway. I
this awesome square there that has all these great little shops.
Denton was a lot like a town around here, Bastrop. When we pulled up, I kind of thought that same vibe with this real cool ass town square, except Bastrop's town square is dead, and this place was vibrant, tons of great shops.
Comic book stores, candy stores, a little mini mall that they have. We went on a shopping extravaganza.
Because every single tour I've ever been on since 2012, one of the goals is that I have to find a Swamp Thing comic at some place.
It was funny because he was looking for an old Swamp Thing comic, and the guy said he didn't have any in the store. I go to the back issues, and the first one I thumb through, man, I just go right to a Swamp Thing comic.
I don't think I've missed a single tour yet, and thanks to Sharky, this tour was no different.
And I'm like, Mitch, I got it, yeah! And yeah, he said it was too serendipitous, bought it on the spot, and I was like, hey, you want to buy me this X-Men comic? And so yeah, I got an X-Men comic.
Pretty nice town. A lot of nice people we ran into there. And the band we jammed with that night, we ended up staying at Dan's house. He was the drummer in the band called Beaver.
By the way, this is Dan the man from Beaver. Yeah. He's nice enough to let us crash here tonight.
Is that a camera or a video?
Yeah, it's a video camera. We're doing a documentary.
Sweet. I was like, why is it not taking pictures?
We get to Dan's, and we're sitting there waiting, and Mitch and Kyle aren't even there yet.
Sharky and I pulled up first, and Sharky actually kind of chewed my ass. He was going to pretend to be Mitch.
And this guy pulls up, and he's all like, hey guys, hey, sorry, you guys are a little early and everything. And I was like, it's alright. And Jeremy was freaking out just a tad little bit, and he was like, man, Mitch ain't even here yet. He doesn't know any of us. What are we going to do? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I got this, alright? I'm Mitch.
So I'm like, I think Dan met Mitch already, but whatever.
And so I was gonna pretend to be Mitch, and I step out and everything, and we're shaking hands, and Jeremy just blurts out, yeah, we're just waiting on Mitch and Kyle to get here. They're not here yet, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you prick.
We get to his house, and the other guys there get there before me, and I notice that they're all staring at me whenever I walk up. And I kind of had this feeling that it had to be about the sleeping arrangements, because there was no other reason for those kind of vibes to be happening.
That was one of the first things Dan asked us when we pulled up, and he came out and talked to us and said, hey, where y'all staying tonight? And we were all kind of like, we'll talk about that when Mitch gets here.
So we walked to the backyard, and he's like, so where you guys staying at tonight? And we're all like,
And I could feel everybody's eyes just burning at me, and I was like, I could have swore you said we could crash with you, bruh. And he was like, oh, yeah. If you say I did, then yeah, I just forgot, Dad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we walk in and we see the marvelous sex wing.
It survived. This survived.
Now that is durable craftsmanship, people.
Yeah, that thing is secure. Like, the roof will come down before that.
The guy that attaches, he attached it to the main beam. To the roof. Yeah, it's gone up into the beam. It's not attached to the ceiling. It goes up all the way.
Now that is how you make a sex swing, people.
You guys are gonna feel really bad when you see my kids playing in this.
No, you should feel bad.
It's so. I thought I saw a red head. There were two people walking.
So how are you enjoying the trip so far?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it better now that I'm not quite as hungover as I was earlier. It's been good.
Kyle? So far? What?
What's up? That was a fucking drive.
Thoughts so far on the trip?
It wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be.
Fun.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Nice to meet you.
Where's buddy? He's not here yet. What do you mean he's not here yet? I thought you were toting his ass around. No, he's moving around.
Thoughts so far?
What's up, buddy?
Sex swings are cool. I need one.
We were going to be in your glasses cooking?
There is your to-do, and we have footage.
Go get yours, Dan.
I recommend you use it.
I go, what?
Okay, I would ask you how you're feeling about the trip so far, but I'm just going to ask you, how do you feel about his comment just a few seconds ago? That's the look I was looking for.
Yeah, Mitch put on one heck of a show. Did it twice, actually. The second time was not near as good as the first, but unfortunately the camera wasn't rolling the first time.
Mitch,
What?
go again.
You want me to do it? Oh, man.
Take the shirt off this time.
Yeah.
I mean, take the shirt off this time.
Take the shirt off.
You gotta take it off while you're on the sex swing.
Yes.
Upside down. It has to be while swinging
upside down.
You might want to put your glasses down.
I got a worm suicide.
No, the glasses are integral to this thing succeeding. Alright, so
What did you come in?
we have to start out with a little bit of this. Oh my gosh, the last time, guys,
Out of the way.
that took a lot of upper body strength. I don't know if
You got
I've
enough left. Come on, man.
She got sketchy.
Put the jacket back on, man.
The jacket gave you strength.
I gotta make sure my ass is secure.
Everyone needs to make sure their ass.
It wasn't very secure last time.
Oh, there's the fence.
Yeah,
There it is. There it is.
Around.
Almost.
You got this, Mitch. Yeah.
Look, he's wide
What's
open.
that cracking sound?
Oh no.
Oh shit! I'm very dizzy. Can you help?
Start spinning them.
Do you need help? Things are starting to go awry. Gravity will help a lot. Just like
Yeah.
So how was that?
Chatting with the wife and kids.
That was, the second time was way more terrifying than the first time.
I didn't get the first time on film.
First time was way more magnificent. I arched the back, I did the Jeff Hardy swan.
Come on.
That one was a little sketchy.
Alright, we're playing some fucking music now.
Moving right along, this next song is about Spider-Man. It's called Web Slinger.
Fort Worth, we played at this place called Record Town. It's this really nice, cool, quaint little record shop in the yuppie area of Fort Worth.
Man, nice little atmosphere. Nobody's going wild or anything. You know, barely even a couple of people milling around and whatnot.
Record Town, it was kind of tucked off in its own little area out there, but it was, I really liked the shop. And it was a nice, comfortable, laid-back setting. It was cool that Kyle's parents happened to be in town and came, plus, you know, Dan came up from Denton.
Just an all-acoustic set, and kind of a neat old store, but I think they relocated it to the place we were at. It wasn't the original location.
It was a real mellow, laid-back show. It was kind of cool just sitting back and playing acoustic on the couch.
Thousands of abandoned sons, he was their dad, the single greatest role model we've ever had. There'll never be another story until we're like him again. With no better hope can take it, 'cause it's the end. Every great beginning must have its end time. This world will be the same. So goodbye, Stan, the man, we're in the end game. Goodbye, Stan, the man, we're in the end game.
Excelsior!
So we play Break Time Bar in Shreveport. Wild ass show. Everybody going crazy, right? Cops probably should have been called. They weren't. We play J&J's Pizza. Mosh pits. Everybody just going crazy. Wow. Cops probably should have been called, but they weren't.
We were looking for a few more songs to play to finish covering our time, and we start playing Green Lantern. Halfway through the second verse, Jason comes running in, starts waving us off, telling us to cut and all that.
So we think something's like we're in trouble, maybe it's too loud, so we stop, like, what's the matter? Someone complained about the noise? It's like, no, there are cops, ambulances, and fire trucks out there by the vehicle right now. Something has to do with Katie, and before he could get Katie out of his mouth, Jeremy had shot up and was out the door. I had never seen Jeremy move that quick, even whenever dogs and police were chasing after us.
Ran top speed, which I don't do that often, about the 50 yards to where she was to be there for the police and firefighters.
Katie was taking a nap in my car. When you're on tour, sometimes you don't sleep a lot, and Katie was taking a nap in my car. I guess somebody had called the cops saying that she was passed out and OD'd and stuff. She had a McDonald's a Jack in the Box hamburger, and she had passed out like this, and her hamburger was in pieces all over her body. So I guess they thought she had OD'd or something.
Somebody had thought she wasn't responsive or something like that. Apparently it knocked on the window and she didn't wake up. Though every time anyone else did, she did.
They were asking me if it was my vehicle, asking me a bunch of questions, and I'm like, yes sir, yes sir. Oh no, she's just asleep. We're on tour with a band. They're playing right now in this little record shop.
Yeah, that kind of killed the show. By the time the police left and firemen left, and I kind of got Katie calmed down a bit because it was very upsetting that it happened, of course. Yeah, everybody was bringing out equipment. It was done.
We got to Sal's. Sal's is home. Sal's is the home base. Repeat Offenders, since we've been doing this whole thing with punk bands, Wookinpanub, Beaver. Repeat Offenders was the perfect local band to kind of add it all up with.
Repeat Offenders making a comeback was really cool because it's been so long since I've seen those guys play.
That ended up being a really badass night. Mostly in part thanks to Dane from Repeat Offenders.
I mean, we just hung out and had a good time. It was like old times from forever ago. And we had another awesome show that night. It was one of our best ones, in my opinion.
Number one. One night in the parish jail, they had me in a holding cell. Rolling my people, I gotta make bail. Way too much fun, drinking, driving, and shooting guns. That's way too much fun, drinking, driving, and shooting guns. But one night in a cage, it's not too much for me. One night in a cage, man, you know I gotta break free. Gotta break free. One night in the parish jail, they had me in a holding cell. Calling my people, I gotta make bail. Way too much fun, drinking, driving, and shooting guns. Just way too much fun, drinking, driving, and shooting guns. But one night in a cage, it's not too much for me. One night in a cage, man, you know I gotta break free. All the time, cocktails and rum. Pull those fuckers high and run. From the courthouse, going fire. Leave the mic, be in jail for a while. From the courthouse, going fire. Gonna be in jail a while. But one night in a cage, not too much for me. One night in a cage, man, you know I gotta break free. Gotta get free. Free. Gotta get free. Free. Gotta get free. the country, would he recognize the country that he's left behind? With Nazis and streets, fires on Capitol Hill. This does not look like America from his side of the shield. Casting on a ranger, though you want to shield. Come protect the rights, the USA. Casting on a ranger, come and save the day. God's righteous soldiers, make it all okay. Brothers and sisters that all have given their lives, will they recognize this country that they left behind? You'll never have my voice, you'll never have my gun, and you can't tell me who I can love. Privilege is not the same. Casting on a ranger, though you want to shield. Come protect the rights, the USA. Casting on a ranger, make it all okay. God's righteous soldiers, make it all okay. My stars and stripes, they will never fade. 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 Casting on a ranger, though you want to shield. Come protect the rights, the USA. Casting on a ranger, come and save the day. God's righteous soldiers, make it all okay.
some stories, I could tell you some lies. And I can fill you up with the fuzzies inside. What good would that really do? So my friends are